Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first Throwback Thursday video. I thought it would be appropriate to share with you the very first invitation that I made. It was a birthday invitation for one of my best friends for her son. So since that's the first thing that kind of got this ball rolling, I figured it would be the first thing I share with you. So today I'm going to share with you how to make this saloon door invitation. I thought they were super cute when I made them. Lots of fun. The printing part was a little more time consuming than anything else just because I had to line it up. So I won't be showing that today, but I will show how I found the image, made my template, and put these together. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. Excuse me, I seem to have something in my throat. So what you're going to want to do is you want to pull up your internet, type in saloon doors. Oops, if I could spell. Go to images. Now you can use any style saloon doors that you want. I went up here to where it says clip art to find not a cartoony one, but something a little easier to deal with. And this is the clip art image that I used. So right here you're going to want to go ahead and save as image, or save image as, save it to wherever you want it to go, whatever file, desktop, doesn't matter. Change the name of it if you want. I already have it saved, so I'm not going to worry about doing that. Then once you have it saved, go to wherever it is, open it up. You can open it up like this and print it out like you would any photo. You can go to Paint as well and open it up in there and resize it. I can't remember which way I did it. So let's see. So I'm just going to show you the easy, but we will do this as well. So as you can see, you can, it's obviously not going to size that, but you can crop it so you don't have as much of whatever the background is. You can size it that way if you want, and then print it out from there. So do have an idea of what size you want your invitation to be. If you're doing it this way, the easiest way to do it would be go up here to hit print, print again, change the size of your paper if you need to, and then it'll give you the options down here along the side. Mine is, I want to say like 6 1/4 by just over 6 1/2. Measurements are not my thing. I usually eyeball it. So we'll just stick with that. So there's 5 by 7. So once you have it ready to go, I would recommend printing it on cardstock just because it is a lot thicker. I originally printed it on printer paper, mostly because I was just getting into crafting outside of scrapbooking, and I didn't even then use any real paper other than what came in the albums. So I didn't have a whole bunch, so I used what I had at the time. And you're just going to want to cut it out. You can, however, in this day of age, now that we've got the Cricut machines and the silhouettes, you can also upload them to those softwares and go that route as well and have the machines do the work for you. If I had machines back then, I probably would have done it that way. This is, like I said, it is pretty simple, but it can be a little bit time consuming, especially depending on how many invitations you're actually making. I think I did like 10 for her. I forget, with a couple extra for herself, and in case any of them did get ruined. So all of that hand cutting, it did get old, but I had a lot of fun making it, so happy to do it again for her. So like I said, you want to print it out. I'm not going to be doing that. but I have the templates all ready to go, so we'll head over to the desk and get started on putting it together. Okay, so we're at the desk. This is where I usually keep all the invitations that I've made or anything fun that I've made, as well as the templates that go with it. And this is just I believe it's a 8x8 photo album. So each one gets its own little sleeve, and behind this one I have the template for the card that we'll be making. So go ahead and put this back. I do also actually even have some of the cardstock left over, so that was a nice find, because I didn't think about it until I started doing this video. Okay, so I have two pieces here, as you can see. The front, the middle, and back. I also have written on here what the piece is for, as well as the colors that I used, where I used them, and what size they are. So it is about a 6 by 6.5 for the printer. So that is, so if I had done these again or made her more or did them for somebody else, I have all the information right there, so it's a lot simpler next time around. So, but these are my templates. As you can see, they're much sturdier than photo paper. So I take my cardstock. Now I have 4 different colors here because I couldn't remember what the shade was. So that's probably what it was. And I only need the one. So I would take it and I will trace it. But I'm going to trace this one first, because as you can see, let me get this one out of the way too. I don't have enough of this one to cut it out as a full size. That's what I did. I just took the outside shape, cut it like that, but as you can see, I'm missing some, and no matter how I line it up, it's going to be off. So I'm doing this a little bit different. I'm actually going to do this in 2 parts. I'm going to trace a big chunk this way, and then do it again down here. So we're actually going to flip this over, right? No, can't flip that over. But I also can't find my pencil. Excuse me 1 second while I go find a pencil. Okay, found a pencil. So now I'm not too worried about the pencil marks. I am going to go all the way to the edge though, because it's one less thing to cut, right? And we're just going to trace. And I don't need to go all the way over to the other side because I do cut this in half. So I'm going to leave, some there, but I'm going to trim it down once I get the 2 pieces lined up and ready to go. The same with down here on the bottom. Okay, so there's 1/2 of our saloon door. And I am going to write on here, since I have to do it this way, I'm going to write left. That way hopefully I don't get them mixed up. And then do the same thing. Uh-oh. That's not going to work either. There we go. That'll work. That'll work. See, if I had thought about it before I started this video, okay, and normally I would use my sharper, smaller scissors, but they're small. So we're just going to go ahead and cut out right on that line. because if I've, you know, made it too small, it will get hidden, which is the nice thing about making them that size. And one of these days I'll have a video up where I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing without a whole bunch of goofs. Oh, and this color is, what color was this? What colors did I use? This color should be the fudgesicle color, and I found these at, I believe, Michael's. I believe that is where I got these colors. But you see why it would now be so much simpler if you had, I had the Cricut machine. That's also why I'm using the bigger scissors. Okay. So we've got that done, and we're just going to set those aside. We are now going to take this template and we're going to cut out of the dark as well as out of the lighter brown. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, well, why do you have it like this? Because my original plan was to inlay this piece. So I was actually going to trace it and lay it in there like that. Well, that didn't work out. I had cut down a piece of paper to fit, but because I'm cutting by hand, not everything would match up. So this just made it that much simpler to do it like this. Because then once the pieces were together, as you can see, they still don't quite line up, but that can be trimmed down later. So really didn't need this piece, but this was the first one I cut out, so I went ahead and kept it. So now we're just going to take this and we're going to trace it and cut around it as well. Oops. If you're using darker paper, you can certainly use a pen. Just remember that your pen will show up. So either cut it on the back side or use a very light colored pen. I would still recommend just using a pencil, but if you don't have one lying around. And then we're just going to cut this out as well. Now, I had thought about using this in my Cricut machine, like I said before, but I figured since it's supposed to be a throwback video, I would try and stick with as close as I can to what I originally did. This way, you guys can see how I actually created something before the Cricut and all that fun stuff. So, and then here I just cut straight across. It's also much easier to do when you don't have the glare coming off the paper. This is a lot shinier paper than it was in the last card. And this pencil line is very faint. Okay, now we're gonna switch to the smaller one because that's hurting my hand. And I have to go check on my kids. I think they're still up. So I'm gonna cut this out and I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. She is coughing, but she's fine. All right, on to the next color. So, oh, I know why I did it. Cut it out so that those fit. I'm like off in my own little world. Couldn't remember why I had cut these out. Nothing seems to want to line up. That's okay. It can be recut. That is not a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trace the centers here out and I'm going to cut it out and I'll be right back with you. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, I did want to show you two ways that you can cut out the centers here. One would be with your X-Acto knife, and the other you can use scissors. So if you're going to use scissors, obviously you want to start somewhere in the middle, punch a hole through, and then cut up. Just be careful not to stab yourself. And don't cut over your line too much. Now this is a little more awkward, especially depending on how you do it. At least until you get it really going. Like now, it'll be pretty easy. You just have to make sure that you cut carefully. Or use your X-Acto knife. I can't seem to find my comfy one. All of my tools seem to be disappearing. And it's just as simple as making straight lines. Put as much pressure or as little pressure as you want. You do get a little bit cleaner of a line doing it this way than with the scissors. Oh, hopefully my hat is not in the way. Actually, we'll just take it off. There. I do apologize that I'm kind of all over the place with this video. I clearly am not going to get a video up this week that isn't all over the place. Because I haven't done one yet. But there's always Friday. Always Friday. This would have to be the hardest curve. I really hope you guys can see that. So as you can see, not all the places, you know, cut out. But that's okay. And just go in and kind of pull or snip or slice. just go carefully so that you don't mess up the parts that you're keeping. There we go. And ta-da! Okay, I'm gonna go grab the brads. So, erase any pencil marks that you want. You know, if you're not going to see it, don't worry about it. I'll line that up. And I'm going to make a tick mark about where I'm going to cut it in half, I think. Right there. So for this, I'm going to use my small paper trimmer just because it's, just because it'll be easier to deal with. But you could certainly cut this by hand. And then as you see, it will line up perfectly. And we'll do the same thing with this one. Uh-oh, hold on. We need to line that up. There we go. And do the same thing. A little tick mark. And this one is obviously going to be a little harder to cut straight. So there we go. We know that obviously this is a straight side, so we will cut, and this will be hidden, so it really isn't that big of a concern. Or I've messed it up, which again wouldn't surprise me. So let's see. Nope, works out perfectly. Okay, so now you can take any kind of adhesive that you want. If you need a few minutes, use a wet adhesive, which is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put it on here all the way around. Even up here in the center, just because I don't know where it's going to land. And then we're going to take the two pieces and line them up. There we go. That's pretty good. Take this one, line it up, and that's okay if there's a little bit of a gap. Because again, it's on the back side. No one's really going to see it. They will when they open it, but it's not much I can do about that. Again, this is not going out to anyone in particular anyways, so this is just to share with you guys. I'm just putting a little bit more glue right along this edge, just to really hold it down. Right there, okay. All right, so now we have our front and back. Oops, this one needs a little more as well. Okay, so we have our front, middle, and backs all done. Now you're going to line them up as best you can. Now, like I said, this isn't going out to anyone. I realize that it's not perfect. But mini brads in here, and that is what I used. This is kind of the mosh pit of my brads. There's a whole bunch of probably different brands in here. So I'm not sure who's from where or anything like that. But I want to say that these might all be Recollection brand brads. Could be some Queen & Company. I'm not sure. So just go out and find whatever color brads will match your saloon doors or your project. So in this case, we're going to use, get as close to, oh, whoops. That's okay. So we're going to use these dark ones right here. I'll show you better in a second, because they match the best with our paper. Not you. Okay, so let's put these back. I apologize that this video is so long. I was really trying to do a short video. Okay, so like I said, line it up, and then I take my paper piercer on my cutting mat and just poked a hole. If you have some foam that you can stick on there to give a nice even poke through, go for it. Oh, this is, let me zoom in, sorry. So I hope you can see that brad. Zoom back out. I start with one hole, poke it through. Hope the brad is lined up. Now you are poking through 3 sheets of paper, so don't be discouraged if it doesn't go through the first time. And then I like to go ahead and flatten out the first brad. Turn it, this one will have to be trimmed off a little, but that allows me to then line everything else up nice and neat. I then go into this corner to do the same thing. This way, once these 2 corners are done, you know, the rest is pretty simple. Now, I'm sure you're going, well, now that you have this whole thing together, what the heck are you going to do to open it? See, I didn't think that far ahead when I made these. I was like, yeah, we'll just do it this way, and, you know, I played around for a good 5 minutes till I figured out what to do. I found this to be the easiest way to line everything up for this project. So last brad, you do want to kind of get them as evenly spaced as you can. Okay, now we have a saloon doors that don't open. Take your scissors and go right up the middle. You're just going to kind of eyeball it. Keep it as straight as possible. There you go. This makes everything relatively even. It also, oops, wrong way, sorry guys. It also makes it easier to line everything up. So once you have it all put together, you know, then you're ready to go. Then just take one door, very carefully kind of bend it back to where you want it. It'll flatten out itself, especially depending on where the brads are. And then you can crease it if you so need to. And there you go. This is how you make the saloon door invitations. Obviously, you're also going to want to put your information, if you're printing directly onto the back of this, you'll want to put your information on it before you do this step. Or before you not only attach, but fold it over. So, again, I do apologize for the length of this video. It's supposed to be relatively quick. But like I said, this week is going to be the week of, you know, not getting one video right, which is fine. I hope you guys, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Enjoy the weather if it's nice where you are. I'm looking forward to the weekend and tomorrow's video. Yay! So thank you guys all so very much for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, rest of your week, into your weekend. And please feel free to leave me any comments you want down below on anything you would like to see me recreate, or anything that I have shared with you in a photo but I haven't done a video tutorial on. I am now going to sign off because clearly I need to go to bed because it is Wednesday night, even though this is a Thursday video. Thanks guys. Happy crafting. Bye.